Hello everyone, welcome in Let's Connect with Prerna. Today our guest Dr. Sam Paul is director of Krupanidhi Group of Institutions and he is into education sector from last 20 years. And today we will be talking about the impact of online education and for students, administrations, teachers and parents. Hello sir, welcome.
Welcome. It's my pleasure to be a part of your show. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. So we'll start with our question, sir.
Yeah.
So my first question to you is that how do you see the online teaching different from distance learning program offered by various institutes for higher education?
So the difference between online and distance learning is totally different. When you look at the distant learning education, it includes not a person. It is basically interaction between a teacher and student doesn't happen live, right? Basically, the material is sent to the student and the student learns maybe using some videos or whatever material. And there is no interaction between student and a teacher, live that goes on. But coming to an online learning portal or online learning, what happens is it involves the teacher and student interaction. It's like, blended education also. Like, it's like offline happening online. All the activities happen, including the test, the assessment, the discussion. It's like just a live classroom. So distance learning is totally altogether a different thing where there is no interaction. You do a self-learning and maybe you have certain materials and things like that for you to learn on your own. That's what is the difference between these two. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, what qualitative changes online education has brought for students and for institute like yours?
See, when we were talking about technology years back, people were not very interactive. People, when the faculty, the teachers were not interested to get onto technology. Even, for example, when they started using smart boards or Google Classrooms, it was very difficult for, teachers to make them understand, that you need to get online, you need to. So they always believed in, chalk on the board method where they write, they're comfortable, and that's the way that his teaching goes on. But, the disruption started happening about 5-6 years back itself, when people were all looking at getting online because we're looking at connectivity from different part of the world. No longer, we are confined to a particular country or particular city. We are networking across the world. We're looking at resources across the world. So what's happened in this is, it has disrupted so much. It has forced everybody to learn technology, whether you like it or not. Right from the kindergarten till the post-graduation, everybody got into the technology. The one way what we see is, when we introduce certain courses, tying up with different universities across the world, when we're talking about online, classrooms or conferences, people were saying, how is it going to happen? It's not going to be, we are not going to enjoy it. Somebody sitting in different place, how the class is going to happen. So what has happened now? This has actually disrupted. We can say in one way it has brought us in a different world altogether and made things easier for us. We are able to connect across the world. The resource is not confined to our city or to our college or connected to our India alone. Across the world, we are able to connect. You can see the number of webinars that are happening, the number of resources, the number of knowledge that is happening is flowing through across. So sitting here in India, I can connect to US, I can connect to Australia, I can get the best of the best faculty, the resource, the knowledge, everything. So what I see is, as projected by many of the surveys, it's more than 2 billion that is, the amount that is going to come in for the online, the investment that is coming in for the online. You can see the number of online portals are increased like anything. It's the way forward is maybe the pandemic might be over, but this blended education is going to continue. People have got used to the system. It's going to be more of campus. It's going to be more of a practical classes that would happen more. But the theoretical classes, or where they're going to have interaction across, is going to be online further. It is the next generation thing. It is disrupted. If the pandemic would have not been there, I don't think this disruption would have happened, or it would have taken a long years. But now, using like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and things like that coming into education has made it so easier and simpler, and it is connected across the globe. And now it's no longer that you are looking for opportunity only in India. People are looking at opportunity in different part of the world, and they're working for different parts of the world. And even the teachers started, their resource has been shared across the world. So the opportunity for the student is no longer confined only to the classroom education now. The student has the liberty to get in resource from different sources at comfort of his home. maybe, but still I would never accept that this is going to be the trend future, all the offline classes will stop. No, that cannot. It is not only academics, it's not only education, it's the personal skill development, the personality development, the interaction, the networking. These are the very, very important things about education, apart from just academics or getting the resource, attending the conference, attending the webinars. So what I see, it is better. We are looking at a brighter future where we're going to have this blended education. It's going to be online, going to be offline. But the advantage is for the students as well as for the teachers reaching out internationally. Teachers are getting benefited also, as well as students getting different sources, not only confined to their only teacher in the classroom.
So true, sir. So true. So yes, I mean, the current situation, I mean, in the amid of pandemic, students are now used to this online classes. So, but this is an added advantage, not only to take the classes, say, in our country, it's also giving them a platform to connect with various, online webinars, not only in India, but for outside as well. So, sir, what is, in your view, administration of your institute of higher learning can do to make it easy for students to learn online classes during pandemic?
We had, even before this pandemic had started, we already started setting up a lot of online activities like Google Classrooms, Zoom. All this was initially, even before we came up with, before this pandemic and things, we slowly were introducing all these things. And also we had started a course on PGDM and healthcare analytics, wherein we have professors from across the world. So we were introducing that with the video conferencing, with eye-end interaction and things like that was happening. So what has happened, this pandemic initially was a little troublesome to all the teachers to get online. But very soon, I'm so happy to tell, soon the teachers got the hold of it and the students started enjoying it. And it is not only academics or curriculum that we teach here. Apart from this, a real college, what happens? All the activities, the cultural activities, the conferences, the skill learning, the soft skill, all this happened in the portal. So it's no longer that, only we teach academics and you go, and it is like, from morning till evening, it's like a full-fledged college that's happening. Only thing it's online, but the full-fledged college is happening. But I want to tell you that, my attendance is really good. The students are really enjoying. Maybe some students are having some network issues and things like that, but most of the students are in. And the best thing is, they're having so much of resources continuously. We have webinars happening across, the experts coming in. Then the most important, we have the soft skill training happening online also. So here, what we are able to do, we are able to individually concentrate on students. Before we used to have 60 students or 80 or 90 students in a classroom, and the lecture happens, and it's very difficult to personally interact with each and everyone. Now, what is happening is, when we do the assessment and all, we are able to identify the slow learners, and we are able to identify the fast learners, and we are able to create the separate groups for them, the classrooms, individual training can be given, individual attentions can be given, which was not, although we were doing it here, but still this has made it more easy, and the student, the comfort of his home, can just ping to the teacher and say, I want to understand about this, and the teacher is there online to answer, and they have an opportunity where we have stored all the videos in the cloud, and they're able to repeat and watch back again, and understand. And we're finding it, of course, a student are very hungry to come to the campus. They want to enjoy the campus life. They want to get back to interact. They want, but we are, even during this time, the students are just enjoying every bit of what is happening. We are not purely giving only academics online. We have all activities happening, the blended activities happening. So many things are going on. So it's fun, it's academics, and also we have this mentor-mentee system also going online. Means we have small groups that we make. There are mentors. Any issues with the students, they discuss, a personal interaction happens between them. So we try to understand. It's not only he's weak in studies. Maybe there's so many other interaction things that are blocking him for being successful in life. So the teachers, the mentors try to understand and try to kind of, maybe for example, a student has got a language problem. He cannot speak well. His English is bad. He's come from a different country or a different state. He cannot speak English. When a classroom, a teacher speaks in English and he might not understand. So what happens is students start missing the classes because he cannot understand the language. He starts bunking class. Then we become judgmental. This guy is not attending, no exams. Come on, out from here. Because we have students from 38 countries, different language speakers. To blend in this thing, we make sure that even the language, even the English language training happens online. We identify.
That's really wonderful. Yeah.
Maybe his communication skills are bad. Maybe he's not able to communicate well. He's got a knowledge, but he can't. So we start training to start communicate, start speaking, making him understand, okay, this is the way that, and then he enjoys the class when he comes. He can interact with people, he can speak. We have seen some of the foreign students who come from the French background who can't speak a single word of English. In few months' time, just in 3 or 4 months, they are so fluent. They start speaking well because thanks to my training team who are constantly behind them, we find out, identify the problem. Maybe they're lacking in soft skill. Maybe etiquettes, the mannerism. They have a shock of the campus. They come from a different region they've come from. So we try to blend them. We try to make them understand. A teacher becomes a second parent to them. That's the important that we do. I don't believe a teacher will take a class, or take a PPT presentation and just walk out. We tell all our teachers, they are your children, right? So we have to identify the problems, identify every area where they are, and support them in that system, right? Not only just education, all overall. If he's overall good, then he performs well in his education. So that is one of our secrets, that we are able to get great ranks in our campus, in our university ranks. We are topping in university ranks, getting great results out, because we follow a method called as modern Gurukula system. What is this modern Gurukula system? Modern Gurukula. See, earlier Gurukula system was, a guru and the student. The student will go to guru's house and start learning the education. We are very old. India is known for a very old system of education. So that was there. So there's a personal interaction. Now the technology coming and so many students in a class, 50, 100 students. The students even do not know the teacher. Teacher does not know who's the student. Right? He comes to the class and he walks out. So we developed this modern Gurukula system wherein after finishing a particular module or a chapter, we have a personal interaction with the student, asking him whether they understood or not. So this makes the teacher also understand the caliber of the student, understand how well the student is understood. If the entire class is not performing, the teacher can repeat back again, and so that we have a personal interaction to every student, like a guru. They are supposed to do that. If you want to learn, you get Google, you get everything. You can go and surf everything and learn. But the knowledge transfer from experience doesn't happen that way. So we still keeping the technology. We blend with our old Vedic methods. How our education system was there. So the same thing, we have gone everything online. The same system. We conduct the vivas, we conduct the tests, we have personal discussions, we have personal rooms. We do all that now online, and we are so happy. My teachers spend a lot of time. It is easy to take class when you're offline. You just come and you just interact. It's fun to take class. But going online is so much of preparation you need. It's not only the student who is watching, the parent is watching. The teacher is really worried. Okay, it's not only the student, it's a parent and other people, and the videos are going across everywhere. So they cannot make a mistake. So they are also in very high tension. So, so we are putting constant training to them, how to, come out of this, how to make the class more interactive, how to make it more activity based, and just presenting with, PowerPoint presentation. So this technology has definitely helped us move ahead. The same what we are doing on offline, we are loading it online, and successfully we're able to do it. That's a great thing that we are doing now.
Sir, how important is research and innovation for students?
Yeah. So, we see that research and innovation, when we look at basically research, people look at research when they are in PhD, or maybe even to post-graduation, they look at research or innovation. Now, what happens is a student has an idea, not necessarily gets an idea when he's doing PhD. He could get an idea whenever if he's in school. What happens? A teacher has a mindset, we study something and we try to put that to the students. But student has a lot of questions. But we don't introspect and we say, no, this is a book written, come on, write. But the research will begin when he has a question. We might sound this is a stupid question he's asking. But that is actually would be a research topic to, intervene and see what it is. When I was a student, when I used to ask a lot of questions, the teacher used to say, come on, sit down, don't ask me too much questions. I'm not going to enter your class because you're asking too much of questions you're asking. But actually, it was not bullying the teacher. Basically, it was, I had real doubts. I had real reasoning why these things are. But we never got an opportunity. So what we have done is, right from the undergraduate, we are encouraging research. We are trying student to introspect, the student to come out with new topics, new ideas, new plan, and we cluster them. We make sure the 3 students are with the same ideas come together, and there's a mentor who develops their ideas into reality to make it into research or innovation. And we make sure that the paper is produced in an international journal. So we give them 18 months time to go through. I would like to tell all my undergraduate, most of my undergraduate students have been part of the research. Just imagine by the time they finish, they have a Scopus Index paper, international paper published. It gives them a great name, and also the placement becomes so easy for them because they are researchers. They're just not undergraduate student coming out, and getting into postgraduate becomes easy. So we have to give opportunity for undergraduate. In fact, we have a school also. We started research in our school itself. Right from the 7th standard onwards, we said, let research and innovation start here. Let the student think out of the box. Give them opportunity, give them different resources, let them come up with idea, we'll nurture them, we'll help them. That's how we get good scientists. That's how, now what's happened, we have come in a digital form. Every child, every student is busy in social networking, WhatsApp, this and that, and they don't have thinking now. That is closed completely. Right? They're just going on doing, and because of that we see anxiety, depression, people are not able to think out of the box. It's so much confined. Now these things, make the student ponder into, make them to come out with new ideas, new plan. So we have been constantly, we have an incubation center here. We have been encouraging right from our school kids to the undergraduate, to the postgraduate. We have been introducing them into different ways how they can do research. And also, to make sure that they're also future entrepreneurs. If the idea is good, why not open your own company? Education is all that you ultimately are going to earn, right? And if you can do it at an early stage and you're able to nurture yourself and bring out new ideas, new businesses, we need more businesses to come out. We need job, instead of job seekers, we need job givers more in the country. So that's the idea. So we need to encourage research and innovation among young minds. Young children should get into research. So this can happen basically only by an educational institution, because when they open up, I think we will get the greatest ideas. We will get see, the patents are not great in India. We don't have much of a patent compared to other countries. It can happen if we start in our education center. It's time that we should not only give to postgraduates or PhDs. We should start right from our school to our undergraduate. That innovation, research should start in an early age. And that will definitely transform to bring great innovative ideas into our country.
So seeing pandemic, there is a huge demand of healthcare worker, right? So is it the right time to decide for health science?
Oh yes, you see the kind of demand that is there for, the doctors as well as the nurses and allied health people and the paramedics. There's a huge demand, and we are having so much of requests for nurses and all these allied therapists and this and that. The problem is in our country, we have been giving more in engineering and humanities and other places where a lot of people come out. Health science is very limited. Now this pandemic has really shaken everybody that we don't have sufficient staffs to handle the kind of patients that are there. So there's a huge demand that is rising. If the students are looking at healthcare, or they're looking at what profession is going to, I'm telling you, healthcare is evergreen, right? There's a need. I know there's huge amount of maybe doctors, maybe physiotherapists, maybe pharmacists, maybe nurses, maybe radiologists, the technicians, all the people. There's a huge requirement in the country. Coming forward, the country needs to prepare more of healthcare professionals. Now, if there are science students looking at, I think they should look at the healthcare sector. And that is really not only in India, across the world, the demand is very, very high. One of the professions that people immediately pick up across the world is in healthcare. If especially the nurses, there's a huge demand for nurses across the world. Even in India, of course, in our city, in India, there's a huge demand. But across the world, they're being paid really very high. And the demand is very, very high. Maybe a pharmacist or a physiotherapist or a nurses are all doing extremely good. If somebody is choosing of healthcare, I think this is the right time to choose healthcare, and there are a lot of infrastructure the government is setting up. More hospitals are coming up, and we need more of staffing is required. So there won't be any dearth for any jobs. I mean, if you're looking at this, I think the people can just blindly decide to take up the healthcare at this point of a time, because there is a huge demand that is rising. And the coming year, you will see the big demand, and also the salary slabs are all going to be revised and increased because of the demand of the profession at present.
So when we talk about the placement, so how do you see in the light of pandemic and also post-pandemic, the placement of fresh pass outs?
Yeah. Now, when we talk about the placement, many of the people, they finish their degrees and
Yes.
start making the CVs and start looking for jobs.
Right.
And we see there's a lot of unemployment across the world. I mean, across India, especially, total unemployment. The reason is, what syllabus that the kids learn, the students learn in the universities or college is not relevant to the real industry, right? What the industry wants is totally different from what the academics is teaching, right? So the syllabus all are very old. The students have been learning all those things, and they've finished their graduation. They may even get a rank and all that. When they go into work, they're not fit for the job because they do not know the technology. They do not have the skills to join. So what the company does is, maybe they will take the person for a very less package, and he has to spend time 1 year for training him with the skills. And then after a year's time, they might decide to give him a pay or things like that. And some of them do not have any skill, just academics. Academics is no way going to give any placement to you. So you see, even a person who's done engineering and things like that, they're going and looking into call centers or BPOs and other kind of jobs with a very compromised salary, right?
Yes.
The reason is, you're not upskilling yourself when you are in the college level itself. It's the responsibility of every institution also to do that. It's not the student alone. It's very much important that during the time of your education, you need to upskill what is necessary in the industry. We have to have our curriculum relevant to the requirement of the industry, because industry is changing very fast. Before, it used to take 2 years, 3 years. Now every 6 months there are new technology coming. When AI was introduced, when machine learning was introduced, people were completely shocked. The people, even upskilling is not only to the students, upskilling is required even for the people who are working. Right? They need to upskill themselves. For example, if you have a normal BBM, BCA course, you do and go, what job can we get? I mean, there are so many people doing it. What is specialty in you? What have you learned extra? And so that's the reason, we started introducing, even in our normal courses, in our health science, we started introducing machine learning, we started introducing AI, we started cloud computing, all the technology that is required to be enhanced in a student. He should be upskilled with the requirement of the industry, right? And what we do is, in our regular curriculum of university syllabus, what we do is we find out the areas, gray areas, where the syllabus is not covering what the industry requires. So we use those, we start integrating that models into that, so that the student gets updated with the requirement of the skills required for the industry. Right? So every student who is listening or who's there, they need to upskill. Whether the college is offering or not offering, it's the greatest platform that we're having. This online has really helped, for so many, upskilling that you can do online. Right? So you have to do, along with your education, please have an area that you're going to work on. Which is the field that you're looking at? What is your dream? What is your vision? Which area that you're going to go? So you need to know your roadmap, what you lack in that, what is your dream, and what you need to fix up in those areas. So you should upskill yourself apart from your regular academics. Upskill yourself. For example, many people don't get a job because they cannot communicate well. Their communication skills are bad. They might have good academic records. They cannot convey their message to the interviewer. When the person is coming to interview, they're not able to crack it because communication skills are bad. So you need to upskill yourself right from the basic level. It's not about just being smart in academics and getting good results and saying, okay, I will get a job. No, there's no job available. You need to have a good communication skills, networking skills, etiquette, all you should have. You should be a part of it when you're having your education. During education, you have to have all this into your, into your academics.
Yes. So before we conclude our interactive session, your message to our viewers, especially the students who are in class 12 and then, and who are already pursuing their graduation or in their colleges, what would be your message to them, sir?
I want to tell them, you go after your dream and your vision, right? So you have your dream. And sometimes what happened, because of the pandemic and all things happening, no college, people have lost their dream, lost their vision, and say, okay, let me compromise, do something else. But I tell you one
Yes.
thing, your mind is very strong. You need to be very strong. When you fix
Very
up your
true.
dream, you fix up your vision, go after that, you can achieve it. No matter, you'll have a lot of people in the roadway coming and telling you, come on, you can't do it. There are a lot of negative speaking people than positive speaking people. Please avoid all the
I
negative
agree.
speaking.
I agree.
Avoid the negative speaker, keep the positive speak, keep your dream, and you write down. I tell the first day of my orientation in my college, I tell, come on, what purpose you came here, write down the end. What result do you want? Your result is not getting pass out from here and going. What is your result? I want to join this company, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be the CEO, or I want to be this kind of a minister. Whatever your dream, please write down the dream and see
Yes.
the milestones for that. Put up the milestones. What do you lack in that? To reach
Yeah.
that, what do you need? You can't just dream getting up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to become the next prime minister of the country. Right? So
True.
you need to set your goals to achieve
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So you go
Very
after your dream.
important.
Nobody can stop your dream. Nobody can stop your vision if you plan it well. So when you stick on your plan, you want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be the next CEO, whatever. Put that down and write your milestone. What do you lack? You lack communication, so build up your communication. You lack certain
Right.
skill, write down. Keep the timeline for your during a time of
Right.
education. Please give the timeline. Write down all the the areas that you need to improvise, the areas that you're really failing, the areas that you can do well. You please write
Right.
down those areas and start working towards that. Nobody can
Yes.
stop your dream or your vision. And please
So true.
remember always that you should be in the driver's seat of your life. Nobody else can drive you. You should drive yourself, right?
So true,
You
sir.
should
So
take your
true.
decision. Don't go by influence by students. Usually I follow, if my friend takes engineering, even I will take engineering. If my friend takes medicine, I will take medicine. Please sit and introspect yourself. What is your passion? What do you like? What do you want? Don't be somebody else. Be your unique personality. Everybody is unique. Your gene is unique. Your gene is not replicated. You're very unique. Your RNA, your
Right.
DNA is very unique. So you are uniquely created. So be that unique
Right.
personality. Say, I am different. I can do different things and I can achieve different things. I don't have to be just like following like somebody. Go after your dream. I tell you, you will achieve it with strategic plans and be in the right hands.
So true, sir. I mean, staying positive, following the dream, it's very, very important for students to keep this in their mind. So we had a very fruitful session. Thank you so much for coming on our show and giving us your time. And I really look forward for more sessions like this where you can educate students and give them this motivation to look into during these pandemic time and in fact post pandemic as well. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much for having me in your show, and I thank you once again for you and your team for having me here. And I'm definitely there
Thank you,
to
sir.
help every student who has any question to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone, for watching us live right now. Thank you, sir.